Your Frontier opening bell for Thursday, the 26th of July is here. I am boosting them for you. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming through on the show today. The Nigerian bourse down by 1.11% on Monday to start the new week, a very brutal way. The total equities valuation down below the 28 trillion naira. The shares of MTN, JITCO, and a few other banking names went down on Monday. Volume and value, however, climbed. The shares of NGRs itself was flattish on today at 21 naira per share. That's the old cutting razor for the week in Lagos. In Abidjan, the Ivorian financial capital, the BRVM Composite better by roughly 0.8%. The Egyptian market slid 0.42% on Monday after the Egyptian central bank sold about 25 billion Egyptian pounds in treasury bills on Sunday to start the financial week in Cairo. In Nairobi, the market was better by the same margin as the Nigerian market went down south. Big names such as Car and General climbed on the shares on Nairobi Stock Exchange on Monday. The total turnover value was led by Safaricom, roughly 73% of total trading volume for the very thin trading day. But of course, Safaricom led that, and there were a few gains as well. Drove the All-Share Index of the NSE by that margin. Then, of course, you've got the GSE down by roughly 0.5% to 67,749.69. That's the summary of your first trading day of the week. How are we getting started today on the big news, economic, financial, and other data that we're bringing to? Kenya Airways is looking for a relationship and interline agreement with Virgin Atlantic. That has now been put in place. And Kenya says bought additional 5G spectrum for about $40 million within the Kenyan market. And the central bank has done a reverse repo for about 25 billion. That's what the Bloomberg reported, according to the plans in place by the central bank in Nairobi. And the African Development Fund, which is one of the funds of the African Development Bank Group, has okayed $5.4 million grant to Somalia in the Horn of Africa to support the country's food sustainability and food supply. In the meantime, ASEA, which is the African Securities Exchanges Association, and the African Union are working on a framework for cooperation to bring the political and the whole apparatus of the African Union together to support the African Securities Exchanges. About 35 exchanges on the African continent are members of ASEA. Let's look into the West African space, where EcoBank Group, which is headquartered in Lome, Togo, yesterday reported that its first half of the year, January to June, profit after tax went up 24% to about $26 million. Diluted earnings per share came at about $0.25 US cents. That came out yesterday. Very robust earnings reported. Gross revenue also climbed by about 10%. All the data are already on the street, and you find a bit of that on our website at Frontier Africa Reports. In the meantime, Nigeria's Eurobond prices are plunging. Yields are high, about 13.76% across the African continent. Some of the Eurobonds at the global markets are in real double digit, from Nigeria to Kenya to Ghana to Ethiopia. The bond yields are rising, pressure on Africa's Eurobonds at the global marketplace. And Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, the LCFE, will be formally unveiled on Thursday, July the 28th. Frontier Africa Reports will be covering that live, streaming across all our platforms on YouTube, on the social media, and of course on our website, Frontier Africa Reports. Go there on Thursday from 11 o'clock in the morning, Nigerian time, to about lunchtime, 1 o'clock West African time. It's the first of its kind in Nigeria, where there will be trading in gold as well as crude oil that Nigeria produces. Quite a new horizon for Nigeria and for the entire Africa, unveiling on Thursday, July the 28th, 11 o'clock. Watch that on Frontier Africa Reports. In Ghana, as central bank has paused interest rate hike at 19%. It's done 550 basis rate hike since the end of last year. Yesterday, the Central Bank governor says the Monetary Policy Committee members decided to hold fire and see the impact of those rate hikes that were steadily done between the end of last year until this time. We'll see how the Ghana move forward because the country faces inflation, is talking to the IMF, and the city is under pressure. And a slight uptick is seen in Cameroon's 2023 state budget, while Gabon seeing its public debt now at the top of $10 billion US. Pressure on a number of African economies in terms of the fiscal balance. So let's check in with West Africa. Sasol is still battling the force majeure and trying to get production of oil back in place to make sure that everything is running well. In the meantime, the biggest news, which is extremely new, came from Zimbabwe, where the central bank yesterday sold 2,000 gold coins in the first tranche of what the central bank says will be continuing. The whole idea is to allow folks in Zimbabwe to go to the bank. They can purchase the gold coins. They can use it for transactions, products, and services within Zimbabwe. That will be in the local. That will be in local currency. If you're buying from the outside as a foreigner, you want to buy the gold coins, then you'll be paying for it in US dollar terms. And Anglo-American Platinum reported yesterday that its first half profit was down 43%. Headline earnings per share came in at about 101.4 South African rand. And as I said earlier, Sasol says it's looking to restart its operations at Natref at the end of this month. Today is the 26th, by the way, so just in a couple of days. And it's positive that its full year earnings will be good when that is released in the month of August. Keep an eye on those developments as Sasol try to wrap his hand around South Africa's energy problems. Let's finish off, as always, in North Africa, and quite a bit to sink our teeth into this morning. Egypt's President El-Sisi has been really busy. He's met with France's President Emmanuel Macron, and he's met with the Foreign Minister of Russia, Lavrov, all in the idea to mediate in the Ukraine crisis. Now, Egypt has gotten assurance of Russia that its wheat import will continue despite the war in Ukraine. Egypt is Africa's largest wheat importer from Russia. And Libya's GECOL says all eastern power stations in the country is now ready to operate. Just as the news from the NOC that is raising its production to about 860,000 barrels per day. That's the National Oil Corporation, after those force majeures were lifted. And finally, Morocco is France's #1 destination for foreign direct investment on the African continent. And we say bravo to Morocco. And that's it for today. Your Portal for this Tuesday. Let's get together next time for you this show. Go online on all our social media platforms, including YouTube. Subscribe, and it's free, as well as on our website, frontafricareports.com, to watch this show again. All of the shows, as well as our stories. We'll be glad to hear from you. And I'll see you next time.